So, one of the stories that we tell over and over again is the story of the genie and the lamp. And the details change, but the basic idea is always the same. The hero finds the magic lamp and they rub the lamp, and the genie comes out and offers a wish. And like I said, the details change, but always the message of the story is you better get your wish just right. You got to figure out all the angles and get the words just right, because the genie is going to take everything you say so literally and so seriously that if you don't got all the angles figured out, you're going to end up in trouble, because the genie is going to take you so literally that the wish is going to get messed up. The reason that we tell the same story over and over again, this is always the case. Anytime we tell a story over and over again, it's because that story has something to tell us. And specifically in the story of the genie and the lamp that we've been telling since people have been telling stories, there are three big messages, and everybody knows the first one. And most people know the second lesson of the lamp, but almost nobody knows the third lesson. And if you get all three, man, home run. So the first lesson of the lamp is the one that everybody knows, and it's this: be careful what you wish for. And you know that, you've heard it a million times, but more importantly, you've lived it. I mean, you know exactly what it is to get something that you really wanted and then find out that it was the worst thing ever. You thought it was going to be awesome, wasn't awesome. You've lived it a million times. And you've also lived the other side of it, I bet, where you didn't get the thing that you thought was going to be really great, and you look back and you realize that you were better off. It's one of those where, oh man, I really thought that person was going to be my person. I thought they were going to be my soulmate, but I realize now that they are a train wreck, and I really dodged a bullet when they didn't return my calls. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. You've lived it both ways. So everybody knows the lesson of be careful what you wish for. Most people know the second lesson. And the second lesson of the lamp is this: you cannot predict the future. You just can't. And you know that it's one of the reasons why when somebody starts talking about their 5-year plan, you just glaze over, because it feels weird and it feels wrong, because you don't know where you're going to be in 5 years. And in fact, when I make a wish about the future, what I'm really saying is I want future me to be constrained by what I'm comfortable with in the present. In other words, I don't want to grow, I don't want to change, I don't want to have new ideas, I certainly don't want to admit I'm wrong. It's a total ego trip, right? And it constrains in a really negative way. Instead of wishing for something specific, maybe it would be better to wish for the ability to know it when you see it. Can I just be nimble? Can I be smarter than I am? Because I want to grow in surprising ways. So you can't predict the future. That's the second lesson of the lamp. And like I said, most people know that. But the third lesson of the lamp, and this is the big one, is that you create from your heart. You create from your heart. And this is a big deal, because the reason that the wish never works in the story of the genie, no matter what the version is, the reason that it always gets messed up is because the wish is logical and rational, and it's something you can prove. It's almost like a big long equation or a legal document. And you are none of those things. You're not a head that occasionally feels. You're not just a brain. You're a heart. You're not a brain that feels. You are a heart that thinks. And you create from that heart space. And you know that because you know that you can learn a bunch of great affirmations, but it doesn't matter how great the words are. If they feel like a lie, nothing's going to change. And you know it because you have a favorite song. That's not rational, but it's one of the truest things about you. And you know that you are a heart instead of a brain, because there are lots of times in your life when you did something that you just couldn't explain and it just felt right. And when you gave yourself to it, something wonderful happened. We create from our hearts. And the upside of that is this: you cannot get rid of something by hating it. You're not allowed to hate your job. It's okay if you don't like your job. You can look for another job. You can try to change it. That's fine. I'm not here to ask you to put up with stuff that hurts. But I'm here to tell you that if you hate something, you are giving it so much emotion and so much feeling. And because you create from your feelings, you are saying to the big mystery, please give me more opportunities to feel this way, and you will get more. As long as you hate something, you will experience it with all the intensity that you put in it. So thou shalt not hate thy job. Get over it. Racism is a terrible, dumb, stupid thing, and we've got to outgrow it. Racism is a sign of a broken personality. It's something that we got to get over. And so we need to vote, and we need to march, and we need to write our representatives, and we need to stop laughing at the racist joke, even if it's awkward to point out that it's not okay. We have to do all of those things. But you can't do them out of hate. Because what is racism? It's hate, right? So you're going to add fuel to the fire. If you hate something, it never goes away. So march and vote and speak up and do all of those things, but do them out of love. Love for justice, a love for other people, or just a desire to get over it, right? Something like that. That's how this works. All right, too big? All right, let me pull it back. I do that. Here's the upshot. If you want your life to be better, do something, anything, out of love. Find something that you can do with complete care. And it's better if it's a secret something that nobody knows about, because that way you won't accidentally be doing it out of some desire to influence people or to get praise or some kind of outcome. Find a secret thing that you do with love. And you will be saying to the big mystery, I want more of this, and you will get more of it. And it will snowball to the degree that you give yourself to it. Watch what happens when you act with care. You got this, kiddo.